Hello everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to upload your GeoJSON file and export the selected county. So for that I had created two things, and I had created a placeholder here, but I cannot see because I haven't used CSS in here. So CSS is not a great deal. We can do it later. So for now, I will just choose a file to show you how it works. So after I choose GeoJSON file, a map will be loaded. So the loaded map will use the style of the previous as previously defined style. So when I click the files, it will show the name of the files. I think I had used uh, two years two HTML here, so maybe it shows two values, but we can solve it again. So when I click it like this, it's a little bit it will take a little bit time. I don't know why. And then we can export this county as a JSON file again. But when the problem is when I select the 7 JSON, each individual file is stored individually. So yeah, I have to solve it. This one is Douglas, and this one is Washington. So what what I need to do is maybe I should store all this data into one. So maybe I will do it later, but I haven't done that one. So I will give you a tutorial on how to make it possible up to here. Okay. So for that, we are going first into the uh, index.html, and then we are going to create a um, file, like file holder, so we can import the file. So for that, um, we are creating a file holder here. So in here I will use input. So input type will be file, and id will be the canvas. You can use upload as it, and the name will be file. Okay. So um I can just close it and save it. And when I save it, I can see here choose file. So when I click this, for now nothing happens, but I have to write a code for that. So in order to write a code for that, um, I have used the id upload. So I will go to the with my main.javascript, and then I will write code after here. There is some problem with the bracket. um I don't know where is the problem. Maybe here is the problem, or there are two brackets which is not or not necessary. So I saved it first, see everything is okay, and then I'll go down and write a code for handling of that input. Okay. So for that, we are going to use upload, like I think the GitHub pilot will automatically suggest me something. So upload a file from the user's computer and add it to the map. Okay. So I will use the upload function, and when it's sensed, it will create a GeoJSON. It will take the GeoJSON and make a style of it, and I will add an extra on each feature. So on each feature, I have already used on each feature, but so I can save it, and then see the result, but there is still a problem with the this one is okay. Okay, I have to close this bracket and save it. Okay, so when I go here and choose a file, and I choose the file, and you can see the map is loaded. Okay, so it has used on hover feature, it highlights everything. Okay, so what I will do is I will remove that highlight features for now. uh, Also I will create a new on each feature. Like when I click, I can see the name of that feature. For example, yeah, I forgot to say you that I downloaded the GeoJSON file from this website for the US GeoJSON, and I downloaded these files and just uploaded it into my data folder. Okay, so I have used this GeoJSON um, to depict that things in here. Okay, yeah, and so this thing is already done now, and I will create a on feature one instead of on feature. So for first I will go to on each feature, and I will duplicate it. Sorry for that. Again copy and again paste it and on feature one. So I will remove the highlight. So when remove it, but I need to use this function here. So I will change on feature to on feature one, on each feature one. So save it, and then I can see, like when I choose the file, and I can see there is no any hover, and I can click, but the name is not, is name as undefined. So when I go into this folder, we can see uh, the property as a name. So I can use this property. On each feature I will go again, and I will just use name. Okay, so I will save it now and then see again the values, the map, and click here. Okay, now it shows the right value, but the population are the random values again. We can also change that value, but the color will be different for that, but I think it's not a problem. So instead of D02, instead of get size, I will remove this get size, and I am going to use census area, maybe. So I will use census area here and save it and see the result again. Um, so when I click it, I can get the different values. Yeah, it's not random. It's the original value. So in this way, we can see the pop-up. But what I try to do is I am going to use a table. When I click, the values will be stored in the table. We can see in the table. I will not create nice table now, but I will try to make it nicer in the CSS part. So I'm not doing CSS part now. So what I'm going to do is I will create a table when the layer is clicked. So layer on click, add the data from that county to the table. Okay. So when the layer is clicked, I will use variable layer equals to either target and variable county So I will take the county name. I will take the population, census area. Okay. Instead of a that I will use census area, and then I will add it to the table. So add the data to the table, and in table I will use table, but I need to also define that table in my HTML. So because I need a div for that, and what I'm doing is I will use a table. This I will use county td area. Okay, and then close it. Okay, so when I save it, but what I need to do is I should use this table in my HTML. So I'm going here again, and I will write one div here. I will use after this. So I will create one break line and div. So ID will be table, and then save it, and again see if everything is okay. So I will upload this one. I can click here and I can see the name and its population. Okay. So in this way we can use its value, and what we are trying to do is export all these values into a GeoJSON, but I am not sure I am able to do that, but I will try it. I had already done it for the tutorial, so I will just write some codes. So I think you are enjoying up to here. So I will go here in again, and after this I am going to use export. Okay. So no, not like this. I'm sorry. So on click on export, what will happen? I will create a function when the export is clicked. So variable data will be JSON data, and stringify. What it would stringify is not a HTML, um, but the layer to GeoJSON. Okay. So what it would take is not the symbol. So it will take data, JSON data, and stringify it and store it as a data. And we are using that data to make it a blob. So it will create a this character. It has some, like, it is a file like object of immutable raw data. Blob represents data that isn't necessarily in a JavaScript native format. The file interface is based on blob, inheriting blob functionality and expanding it to support files on the user system. Okay, so we are saving that data as a JSON, but we have to again define that save as. So in order to define that save as, we are there is some symbol mistake again. So it's here. Maybe we need another bracket. No. Bracket. Okay. So what happens is like when we save the data, for example, when I save it and see if anything is happening, I click this one, and okay, I need to have one HTML file, uh, HTML button for the export. So I will go here, and after this table, I will again use break. This one, and then the button. So button ID is export, and I name it as export. So export will be here, but it will do nothing now. But so choose a file, click that one, and click some of the states and click export. Nothing will happen. Let's see in the inspect. We can see in the console save as is not defined. So we need to define save as first. Uh, so we are going again to our main.java script and then define save as. So we are going to create a function after this. So what I will call is define save as function, and the function will be called automatically by GitHub Copilot. So instead of it will create us some um, link, like how to say, temporary link, and then download it. So when I save it, I will just debug it once. I click here. I can see okay, first, okay, first I will click here. So it gives the name. When I click here, it gives the name. So I will use breakpoint over here, and then export it. So this export will be called, and it will have some data like this data, and but it should also show here in the data. It is not showing anything. Let me try over here again, reload it, say choose the file, click somewhere, export it. So data is undefined. So now we can see the data over here, which is a GeoJSON of that property, Carol. So let's see if its name is Carol. Yeah, its name is Carol. And then we are going to use blob. So it will call save as function. So what save as will do is call this function. So in the blob, its size is 4959, and the file name is data.json. and data will be okay. So let's see, here is a link. So it will create an element. It will be stored as a link, and what is inside this side link, it will create a SS key. Okay, like 127.0 dot something like that, I think. So let's see if it's creating something. Yeah, it has created like link for temporary link for downloading this file. So it will go 127.0.15500, and it will uh, store that value, and after that it will download that link, and the file name will be GeoJSON data.geojson. So yeah, the file name, link download will be the file name, and then in the link what we have, let's see, and if clicked it will download the data. Okay, so when we see here, the it will download a GeoJSON data of that Carol state. Okay, state or county, I don't know much about it, but it will download the data. So in this way, like if we want to download some specific data, choosing specific data, we can store that data. But what happens when I click multiple data? So the data is loaded. I will click some multiple data and export it. So it is creating a multiple file, multiple GeoJSON. So what I need to do is first store this click GeoJSON into one and then export it together. But am I able to do that? Layer.geojson. Okay, it will add to the table, but it is not waiting for I need to see. It will take, might be longer. Wait, let's try GitHub pilot. Wait for the layer to clicked. Wait for the layer clicked and export. Okay, on click, layer on click, target country. But it will just append it, yeah. Export multiple layers from the multiple layers to store the clicked um, layer and store it in one file. No, this is not working. So I will just undo it, and in the next tutorial I will try to save it together. Yeah, so I save it. Maybe again I want to check it if everything is fine. So I will click the data, click here, export. So what would I see is census. Okay, one data. When I click two data, export. Okay, it has stored, I think, more data. No, like I downloaded three data. I will search it. WYO. I mean Montana. Okay, South. No, it will just store one data. Yeah. This much tutorial for today, and I will update it tomorrow. So yeah, bye bye.